What is the Star Citizen community talking about this week? Giant explosions on Hurston, piracy gameplay actually being viable to some extent, becoming rich from selling in-game gifts, and more things to do at landing zones were all topics of discussion on the Star Citizen Reddit. There was a post on the Star Citizen Reddit. Looks like someone is testing atomic bombs on Hurston, which shows what appears to be massive explosions on the surface of the planet. It could be a lightning effect or a bug of some kind, something gone awry. I'm pretty sure that not even the MOABs, the mother of all bombs, or as I love to write in my notes, MOBAs, I'm pretty sure they don't explode that large. Like, they're a big explosion, but nothing that huge. If it's a bug, it's a cool one. What do you think it is? Players have been complaining that they can't sell the Luminalia little gift boxes that you can find around in the current 3.15.1 live build of the game. They can't sell them anywhere. You can sell them at planetary admin offices, the kiosks there. Not the trade kiosks, the actual admin kiosks. And you can make loads of alpha UEC from collecting these. People have made hundreds of thousands, if not millions, from doing this already, and they're buying ships and stuff with them. They're all around planetary landing zones. You can sort of like do them in a loop. They typically spawn in the same area again and again and again, so make a load of money doing that during this Christmas. NPCs have apparently been reacting to crime stats in cities and station locations in 3.16 on the PTU, so they sort of like attempt to cower and move away from players that have a crime stat, at least sometimes. Obviously it's a little bit buggy. We do know that Cloud Imperium will eventually be making green zones more open, allowing for people to actually draw and fire weapons, though that would have laws against it, and there will be security forces at these locations ready to take action, but technically you could fight them, but there are spawn lockers, and we have this sort of like bunker missions to showcase security and spawn lockers starting to work a lot better, and it does suggest that this is going to be in-game real soon. Players seem to be having a lot of fun with the new Gravlev updates, so these space bikes, these people driving them, riding them on the ground, they're pretty good fun. They can go real fast. It's a bit rough around the edges at the moment. It's one of the reasons it's in first wave PTU, and it should get a bit more refined and polished. Uneven terrain sometimes means, well, you're going to be bouncing, you're going to be exploding, you're going to be doing weird things on your bike, but it's a magnitude better, in my opinion, than previous Gravlev. And yeah, you can obviously adjust your height of your bike somewhat, and sometimes I do some weird stuff, and if I'm too low to the ground, yeah, I crash and explode or whatever. But it works very well, in my opinion. Yeah, as I said, it just needs a bit of polish. It's extremely good fun, and you can go very fast now. However, the Nox seems to be very prone to explosions, and the Dragonfly seems very robust in comparison, although I have just exploded and bounced around on my Dragonfly as well. I saw a thread. Landing zones should have gambling, games, and social activities, with the original poster saying, I think one of the things that is missing, and surely will be implemented at some point, are the social, competitive, and cooperative things we expect when we have downtime. We currently have drinking in game and racing, betting eventually, fingers crossed, going to be implemented, starting with Grimhex. We already have a playable chessboard on the Star Runner, and two ships, the Karak and 600i, feature billiards tables, and they're currently unusable, but every single R&R bar has an arcade with non-playable arcade games, and there's foundation and capability to have a ridiculous amount of interactive and fun activities to do during downtime. I'll drop a list of a few, many things, and see how it bodes with everyone. Slot machines at R&Rs, working billiards, dedicated golf centre, arcade machines with functional leaderboards and possibly competitive links, AR games that can be played between party members, think horde mode on a station where all the enemies are in VR, and you'll use something like WoW Blast to shoot AR lasers, as well as many others like drone shooting competitions and AR guided foot races. Really, the possibilities are limitless, and it can be a huge source of user-generated content. Basketball minigames like Horse, and really any other physics-based or board game you can think of. Yes, we all know the game isn't finished, but I'm thinking implementing this stuff at some point, even if it's just having one guy work on it for a year or two, would be a boon to the game's immersion and mainstay factor in keeping people around after they get bored of the gameplay loops. So I totally agree with the poster on a lot of points there. There does need to be a lot more to do at landing zones. Social activities, general games, busy work are all great ideas. Things that you can do on your Mobiglass, even if it's just checking the news, checking sort of prices of stuff on the stock market, or where to get all the different components that you want for your ships from, the sort of prices of things around the verse and commodities. I love the idea of physics games in-game, and like playing cards, playing pool, playing basketball. We know that that's something they could actually viably do pretty easily. I mean, there is a working chessboard in game and things like that. But, I mean, the chessboard's pretty janky. But I'd love to see working arcade machines would be great. Give me silly missions to restock vending machines or repair work around a station. Give me a billion different little apps to play on my Moby-Glass. Racing and betting at Grimhex. Reasons to go to bars. More ways to customize and express ourselves. Yeah, more silly mini-games are largely more good in my opinion. That said, gambling in games with slot machines sometimes gets a bit conflated with real-life gambling. There might be a lot of reasons not to do that. I don't really know, to be honest, but they do plan to sell and actually do already sell in-game currency. So that might be a bad idea to have gambling then in-game, because people could actually buy the currency. Some people get very addicted to gambling. There's lots of other stuff you can do. Basically, what I'm saying is that's not gambling in-game. But I'm sort of interested to know what other people think of. What would you like to see in-game? There's lots of mini-games and things to do at landing zones that are sort of beyond the standard gameplay loops. What sort of silly things do you want to see to do? What apps do you want to see on the Moby-Glass? A bit of piracy now. I saw a post. I snared and extorted a caterpillar for 100,000 aUEC, carrying almost 2 million worth of quantanium. Now, the video has a mantis interdicting a caterpillar, meaning they can't go into quantum, basically. They've sort of been snared there. He then opens comms, checking the player can hear them, and then demands 100,000 aUEC to let them go. To reiterate the point, they remind the caterpillar, and the owner there, that they actually have 200 SCU of quantanium aboard their caterpillar because they've just scanned them. So they go, I know what you've got on board. I know you can afford this, pretty much. The player takes a few moments and then sends the funds. They are then let go. It was awesome to see that play out, and actually seeing strangers use audio comms and actually resolve a situation like this without combat. You may hate piracy and gameplay like that, or say you'd rather self-destruct in the future, but when we actually have more dangerous star systems like Pyro, and if you're caught short with a massive cargo, it might just be better to pay a protection cost to a pirate that wants a quick buck rather than risk it all. Do you know what I mean? It does add risk and reward to the game, and is two sides of the same coin. Obviously, you don't want to be constantly attacked by pirates in what would appear to be a safe system. You go, actually, what? These are starting players. This is a starting area, or this is a safe UEE system. This gameplay shouldn't exist here, but it's not gonna. It's going to be very rare in those sort of areas for that sort of thing to happen. But yeah, when you're in those sort of more dangerous areas where you know that might happen, that's when I quite like to see the gameplay play out. And I just love the fact that the game has expanded to a point where this is possible now, with audio comms, scanning, interdiction, cargo hauling, piracy, risk versus reward, and being able to send aUEC all coming together. And we don't even have physicalized components yet and true boarding. That said, I will be covering piracy in more detail later in December, and people do board ships, and there is more expansive piracy gameplay playing out right now. But boom! That's it for a little Star Citizen update today, and what I saw on the Star Citizen Reddit and the top and hot posts and that sort of stuff, and things I wanted to talk about. But what do you think? Do you like the idea of piracy? Do you think it adds a lot to the game even at this sort of stage? What do you think about those big explosions? What are they? Will we see the removal of green zones entirely soon? Have you been collecting those little gift boxes and becoming rich? Also, don't forget to check out the RSI website each day until the 22nd of December to get a little gift from the Luminalia calendar. I can't even say the word properly. Luminalia? Christmas. Space Christmas. Whatever your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below.
Ho ho ho, I'm a fat man with a beard, and I'm gonna sneak down your chimney and give you
NordVPN. That's right, I'm BoredGamer. I am that fat man with a beard. And it's Nordmas. So what do you want in your stocking for Nordmas, little Timmy? I want NordVPN, with its useful security, privacy, and locational spoofing features. I also want a racing car set. Of course you do, but as I'm not sponsored by Racing Car Set, maybe you should shut your little mouth, Tim. Merry Nordmas! For December, we are giving away an Origin 400i with a Star Citizen game package and lifetime insurance. This is a luxury multi-role explorer ship for 1 to 3 players to run together. It's like a little yacht in space. All you need to do to be in for a chance of winning that is comment on any of my videos made during December. If you'd like to further support the channel, please consider clicking that join button underneath my videos. You can also become a Patreon or even donate. Thank you so much for watching. Please take care, and I'll see you in the verse.